What if being broke isn't a curse, but a sign that you've been chosen? Some of God's most powerful servants went through seasons of lack, not because he forgot them, but because he was shaping them. If you've been struggling financially and still feel called by God, this message is for you. Provision always follows purpose, not the other way around. Chosen ones don't chase money, they chase mission. That's why God doesn't make it easy. Look at Abraham. God promised him a nation, but first sent him into the unknown with nothing but faith. Look at Jesus. The Son of God had nowhere to lay his head, not because he lacked power, but because he was on assignment. Before provision comes, God purifies. He allows seasons where the bills don't line up, just to see if your heart still does. Training doesn't happen in abundance. It happens in the wilderness. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. The enemy doesn't waste time on everyone. He targets the chosen. If he can't kill your destiny, he'll try to drain your drive. And one of his favorite tools is financial pressure, unexpected bills, missed opportunities, just enough to survive but never enough to build. Why? Because once a chosen one gets resourced, they become unstoppable. The devil doesn't fear your dreams. He fears your delivery. That's why you've been under attack. Your financial breakthrough isn't just about you. It's about who you're called to bless. When you're chosen, life feels like a contradiction. You're called to lead, but nobody's following. You feel anointing, but your reality looks like lack. And the hardest part, you're going through alone. Look at Joseph. God gave him dreams of royalty, but before the crown came the pit, the betrayal, and the prison. He wasn't isolated because he was forgotten. He was isolated because he was being protected. Chosen ones often feel disconnected from friends, misunderstood by family, and overlooked by the world. But isolation isn't punishment, it's preparation. In the quiet, God refines your motives. In the silence, he trains your ears to hear him, not the crowd. If you're chosen, God isn't just building your platform, he's breaking your ego. Financial struggle humbles you fast. It forces you to ask for help, to pray with desperation, to depend on him instead of just hustle. Look at the Israelites. Before they entered the promised land, they wandered for 40 years, living on manna from heaven. Why? Because God wanted them to know he was their source, not Egypt, not gold, not even their own hands. In the same way, God will let a chosen one run out, just so they learn where provision really comes from. If you're chosen, your money isn't just for comfort. It's for kingdom impact. That's why the process is harder. God isn't just blessing you, he's entrusting you. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused. Yet when the time came, God raised him to second in command in Egypt, not to flex wealth, but to save a nation from famine. His struggle wasn't random. His wealth had a mission. Or Esther, positioned in a palace not for luxury, but to deliver her people. Even Solomon, blessed with extreme wealth, used it to build a temple, not just accumulate riches. God gives financial favor to those who multiply for impact, not just for image. When you're chosen, God often withholds what your flesh wants to give your spirit what it truly needs. Financial struggle isn't always an attack. Sometimes it's a fast you didn't choose but desperately needed. Look at Jesus. Before his public ministry, he fasted 40 days in the wilderness. He was hungry, weak, and alone, but spiritually, he was being prepared to carry power. God will let you go without so you can grow within. Because if he gave you abundance too early, your flesh might hijack your calling. In the wilderness, you learn to depend. You learn to hear his voice. You learn to obey when it's hard and praise when it hurts. So if you've been asking why your money's tight, why doors won't open, why the blessing feels delayed, maybe it's not a curse. Maybe it's confirmation. Because when you're chosen, the struggle isn't punishment. It's proof. Proof that what's coming is greater than what's been withheld. The only question now is, will you break or will you break through? Drop "I'm chosen" in the comments if this spoke to your spirit. And don't forget to subscribe.